T-Rack got me.
Hit one and be some, you gotta go berserk.
Okay. Sometimes you need a friend, not the ones that just show up and don't put nothing in.
Well, we've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the New York Giants. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground with Bryce Love, the former Stanford Cardinal. And from the 25, they worked this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. They'll hand it off. It's Love. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
He's taken.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Out of the shotgun, Haskins slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
Here's the Pro Bowl punter, Tress Way, on to punt for Washington. Back deep, Golden Tate. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds, so no chance to bring it back, and they will spot it at the 24-yard line.
24-yard line.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Chase Young. Well, Saquon Barkley last year against Washington, he won many a fantasy league with his performance in Week 16. 189 yards rushing. That was the 3rd highest single game total in the NFL all of last season. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
16 yards.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jones out to the flat. That's caught. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Being chased out left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. From the gun, Jones able to shake him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Montez Sweat, and Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On 1st down, here's Love. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
The stop.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
From the 44, Haskins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path. A significant number.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8.
Looking to throw, Haskins. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
No score.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Haskins. Open man here, Sims complete. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Washington.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Going to give it to Love. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
And that one will bounce out. Out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun is Luton. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. A first down carry for Barkley. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
He's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First and 10.
And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. It's complete to Golden Tate. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. From the gun, it's Haskins. Escaping the pressure right. And he locates Walker, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Here's Haskins out of the gun. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Luton here off of play action. And this will be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a third and 3. Luton going to pass it out of the shotgun. Looking downfield for Godwin. This is caught at the 20. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
To number 14.
Chris Godwin, as the first half is winding down. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. brings up 2nd and 3.
So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
The ball carrier.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Taken down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Throwing is Luton. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run again with Peterson. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
A 4-yard pickup on the play. 1st down, New York.
Luton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the 1st half. To throw is Luton. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Play fake, and here's Luton. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Giants go on fourth, but come up empty. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
The turnover on downs.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
To Miles Boykin. Out of bounds at the 27.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Second and 3.
They turn to Love on the handoff. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First down, New York.
Now Luton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Steven Sims, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and that'll bring up second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Here's Luton to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40.
On the carry.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They give it to Peterson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Giants 9.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a toss right to Barkley. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Chase Young.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Gano is going to miss this one left. Oh, it's no good for Gano. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long.
Mike, check.
Now a give right side. It's Gibson, and he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From midfield now, Haskins. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Ebner. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage. And
using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson! And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 14-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. A quick pass here to Godwin. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
Touchdown.
Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Fair catch made made at the 25-yard line. Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
The tackle
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Haskins on the keeper.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
59 mark, 59 mark, check, 59. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And they take a knee.
Haskins on the keeper. Today's final.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your